if you guys don't like the exhaust cover on these things, and you know, you see, my honest opinion is I love to have the McCulloch Super 250 right now. I always loved to have one. I always wanted one, and I never got a McCulloch 250, and you know, and the camera's gonna make my face look. Yeah, it does it again. And I don't know. It's gonna make my face look weird again. I don't know why it does that, but I hate these fucking cameras on here, on these new Sonys and Samsungs and iPhones. They always do it. I don't know what the fuck is up with that, but yeah. But like I said, I mean, I'm a wealthy man. I always like cutting wood, and my first experience was cutting through wood, and I'm starting to like it now. I started to get into cutting wood now. I don't know why I was. I don't know how I got into it. I've been watching Bucky Billy Rays for a long time, and you know, I've tried to get him to see if he can find me a McCulloch 250. I tried several times, and I just got the steel right here. This is a good MS. This is a good MS steel right here. 290. These things are fucking gnarly. See, in fact, what the 290 is, these things are fucking powerful. I mean, the 290, I mean, why would you need a more powerful saw if you got a powerful saw right here? The MS 290. I've been using it to cut wood for all week, the whole entire week, and you know, I love chainsaws. I just have a passion with them. I had that Pioneer for about 2 years, and I had the 58 Zip, Homelight Zip over there for about 3 years. It's about to be 3 years now since I had that Pioneer now. I bought that thing 2020, I think. 2022 was when I bought that thing brand new. Well, it's kind of used, but it looked brand new to me because the paint's still on it. You can still see the paint on this. I mean, it just needs an airbox cover, but that's not a big deal for the Pioneer. Those things are very hard to find, though. So those are the metal ones right here, the Remington Polites. These are very, very great chainsaws. These are all run right here in the 1010 Pro Max. Let's just make a video of this thing running so you guys can see it. Here, let's go put you on my tripod here. Make it easier for you guys. I got a double splitted axe came off my neighbor. My neighbor used to be a logger, so there is the hatchet I got for myself. I got my axe that my neighbor gave me right there. That's going to be hanging up on the wall for generations. Got some torches hanged up here. Got some chain right here. Got some bars right here. That's some bars that goes to this. And I got another 1010 Pro Max. It's going to actually have a 22-inch bar. I might take the 22-inch. Is a 22-inch bar off of that? I forgot. And if you guys don't want the 22-inch bar for the Husqvarna 555, I mean, I would sell that thing. I don't need it. I got this MS290 that I bought off my neighbor. I love this saw. I love it. It's powerful. It's got a lot of torque. It's fucking a torque monster is what it is. I never thought in my life I'd ever get a torque monster saw, but oh yeah, now I do. I got torque monster. And that thing put the power down, puts the hammer down every time. It's a powerful machine. Back again. Just trying to keep the video rolling there. Sorry about that. I had to cut the video off. Oh shit. Alright, let's get you guys on the tripod here. Alright, get you guys right here. You guys can see the 1010 running. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can see. We're going to do a video of the 1010 running, and you know, I know my phone's a little flipped up this time because I'm going to show you guys the MS290. This thing is a gnarly machine. I mean, this thing's powerful. This thing's already warmed up a little bit. Oh, shit. Yep, just need to be choked. No, I like chainsaws. Don't get me wrong, I like them. Just a roll? Yeah. It's a very powerful machine. See, I think the older steels, like the 2000 models, like this, that year was a great year for them. I think the early 41 McCullochs, the Pro Max series, and the McCulloch Pro Max, they were all great chainsaws, and Pioneers were too. Give you guys just run down these old type chainsaws here that you guys haven't seen for a while in the YouTube video here. Ooh, 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 boy! She wanted to fire. Souls back in the early, 50s and the 40s, and I'll tell you the story. I remember this Pioneer belt buckle for it. So back in around 1979, this saw first came out. This is the second one that rolled off the production line. I'm telling you right now, that Pioneer right there is the second one. The second chainsaw that rolled off the production line. Let me tell you the story first. When Husky was getting ready to buy a Pioneer, my chainsaw was all right between all that mess that we're doing. And this thing looks like it's brand new. It has the original bar that came with the old Pioneer. The old 19-inch bar and chain. They come from factory. This is a 79cc chainsaw. And these old P28s, I'm telling you, these things had a lot of power back in the day with them. If you just crank the auto up. I don't want to hit my steel over here. I'm trying to keep the carbon low in here, so we don't get sick and end up killing ourselves in here. So, as you see, you guys can see a bunch of Lawn Boys back here that I got. Yeah, I got two Lawn Boy two-stroke push motors. So, yeah, I'm a real I'm not going to call myself the two-stroke king, but I just like two strokes. I like two-stroke leaf blowers. I like two-stroke weed whackers. You see all the weed whackers I got up here? I got more down there. I got a Hot Rod Poolin weed whacker down there. That is loud as fuck, and I tell you what, you hear that damn thing running. I'll make sure I bring it up here today so you guys can hear it running. But I'm letting the rain cool down because I think it just rained in here, just a tiny bit in here. But like I said, that Pioneer right there, that's one of the number one best-selling saws back in the early 1970s. And I'll tell you the story here. When my chainsaw was right between all that mess after they rolled that saw, which is the second one to roll off the production line. I didn't know it was going to be the second one to roll off the production line until I looked at it, and it was a number 2, and I was like, holy shit. I think I just got a rare find here. That's not rare, but they made a lot of these P28s, and these were great chainsaws, great Homer chainsaws over the time being. But listen here. That chainsaw right there serves a purpose why it's in here. So, back in 1979, that's when Husky and David Lee, Pioneer owner, was going to get along. He was not getting along with Husky that well. And he was trying to sell his company, but he didn't get to sell his company because his company went bankrupt almost. At that time, he did made still bankrupt almost, and I'll tell you the story right now. There's been a few times where Steel almost about died because of the powerful Pioneer P65 that they came out with in 1988 to 1987. And they lasted that saw on a 2-year production line because they wanted to be a more popular saw. They wanted to be an unlessable popular saw, like the Steels made they made a jet engine steel with a jet engine in it, and that was a more rare one. I've been seeing on videos lately of the MS290 with a jet engine in it and stuff like that. The 290 was also a concept saw at the time, being in the late 2000s. They're trying to make their saws more powerful than what they were back in the day. I mean, yeah, fucking the 1977 441 and the 555 and the 51 and the 61 and the 75 steel. These things right there are monsters. They were torque monsters also. My neighbor's got an 041 AV 1970. I think his is a 72 when he bought it brand new. Back in 1972, and that was his brand new steel. And I broke the screw on the exhaust pipe on the Pioneer, so I'm fucked now, and so I'll tell everybody. I know, a lot of people don't like me when I cuss, but you know what? I can't help it. I dealt with cussing for a very, very long time, you know. It's hard to get rid of that shit when you can't help it, you know. And I think the Lord understands that what we all go through is some hard, rough times, but I think He'll understand that He'll take your apologies and your accepts. And I'll tell you what, I got lucky when I picked this Pioneer up, you know. I was happy I found one, and I was so lucky to have one, you know. And I thought I was going to be the only one that has a Pioneer, but that's what I thought. I was like, hey, maybe. There's not many people collect Pioneers that much, but now people's getting into P28s, and some people are out there. I had this chainsaw for a while, and you know, and its anniversary is already done over with. And hey, I'll sell about my chainsaws anniversaries around here. I do when I first get them or when I first have them. The Echo, I would gladly like to trade it in for a McCulloch 250 or that Husqvarna 55. But I want to get that 55 rebuilt first and restore that 55 Husqvarna. I might keep it. I don't know. I might get rid of it. I might sell it. I don't know what I'm going to fucking do with it. You know, I collected chainsaws over the few years, and I would never ever thought I was never getting the chainsaws, and here I am. I've been bringing a bunch home lately, and seeing this steel. I like to have that McCulloch 250 because I want it to be my last chainsaw, and struggling to find it, but it's a little hard to find, you know. And I also want a 380 maybe. If I can't find a 250, I want to go with next up to be the 380 McCulloch. The 380 is a little bit more popular chainsaw, and like I said, I finished to tell you the story about the Pioneer first before I end up running more saws. So, the late 70s, late 1979 was the Husky and Pioneers fight. They had it out a few times, but they wanted Pioneers chainsaws because they actually had the opportunity to make the easy arc start and try to beat other companies. So that's when Stihl took the opportunity to get their easy arc start off of the Husqvarnas and seeing what they did. Well, Stihl made a decompression valve. Well, Husqvarna don't make a decompression valve. The reason why it starts easy, but putting the two coils that's in there. There's a spring-loaded coil in there. It's got a spring loader in it. It's just like a gun. You know how a gun goes off when it first fires? That's exactly what that thing does right there. When it first fires up, the guy says, when I first bought that saw off of me, he said, that saw's been barely used. He don't know much about it, but I did. That was the only chainsaw guy that knew much about it at the time being, because there's not many chainsaw guys around 2020, because no one didn't see Bucket Billy Ray's videos that much. I mean, no one didn't like watching him. I mean, I like watching Bucket Billy Ray's watches. I like watching his videos because he taught me a very well thing that you cut trees with, you know, and saws and stuff, you know. I really want a McCulloch 250, and I don't got one. I want to get my chainsaw completed. I want to be done with chainsaws. I want to be out of chainsaws. I hate to say that. I hate to say it to all chainsaw guys out there. I know they hate me saying that, but I want to see you guys hear this 10 down. The 58 zip don't run because it needs a carburetor. I don't got a carburetor for it. This one here is going to need points because the coil, basically when it was sitting for a very long time, the Remington Logmaster was, is this saw has been sitting about maybe 60 years. It's a 1958. Same year as that saw right here, the 58 zip. Same exact year. I'm taking my nail files out. This is the 20-inch bar. I can't see to get rid of this crud. Let's get you guys a start up here, right out here. You guys can see it. Can you guys see the chainsaw? Alrighty, here comes the 1010 Pro Mac. Alrighty, ready guys? I love the sound of these saws. That's because I'm fixing my other one. I might keep it. I think I'll start with 1010. Maybe if this thing would run today. Might have trouble fighting. I feel like it's only got enough fuel. Well, there she is. I mean, who don't love a good old sounding 1010? I do. I love them. These things are always hot rodded. I don't know what it is with the Pro Mac 1010 series. These fuckers are always hot rodded. I mean, I don't know what it is with 1010 Pro Max, but I can't believe I got her fixed up, and I was happy to get her fixed up again. I always want to see her run again, you know, and I told God, I said, I always see this thing run again one more time. And I finally get to see her run again. I want to hear this thing to run for the rest of my life because, you know, I want to show it to my kids how these things were hot rodded back in the day. And, you know, this is all pipe. This is nothing about, there's no screens in them. There was no screens in the exhaust pipe to muzzle the sound. Chainsaws back in the day were loud. This is a 1980 model Pro Mac 1010 because how you tell it's an 80 model because it's got that handle grip. And I looked it up. It's an 80 model. It's got the 80 style, 1980 style oil cap. I mean, what's more harder to find? I mean, you guys saying the 380s are more rare. I don't think so. I think the 1979, actually, no, the 1973 Super 250 is more rare than that. Let me tell you something. There's a Super 250 out there. If anybody doesn't know about it, they made it from 1973. Only a 2-year production line chainsaw. So they made it the 72, 73, and that was it. They only sold about 200 of them at the time being. And this one here has an automatic oiler. Not the 1010 I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 250. The Super 250 actually has an automatic oiler. So in 1972 to 1973, McCulloch came with the Super 250 called the Special Edition Super 250. It was signed by Robert McCulloch himself on the exhaust pipe. He signed that motherfucker. He got that motherfucker engraved on the exhaust pipe. I'm sorry if I cussed a lot, but you know what? It shouldn't matter about cussing. It should matter about the power saws we're looking at. This is a beautiful saw from McCulloch series. I hope I get the other one running too, so we can have these things both running at the same time. These things are always hot rodded. I mean, look at it. That thing is all straight pipe. I'm not trying to spit over there, but it's like Pioneer. That thing was hot rodded. They're both hot rodded. They didn't have muzzlers. They didn't have nothing. They didn't induce the sound because in the 70s and late 60s. I mean, look at my 58 zip. That thing right there's all pipe. There's nothing on that 1958 zipper. It's that Homelight zipper right there. There ain't nothing on it. It's all pipe. I would love to hear that thing run again too. Yeah, I just gotta get a carburetor for it now since the carburetor junked on the other one. We'll spit fuel out there the carburetor and let's get all these chainsaws running for you guys so you guys can see them before I end up cleaning this mess up. Because I came out here to organize and fix up this stuff because my mom's getting all the Christmas stuff out of here. Because she wants all the Christmas stuff out. And she sees everything that's in our way. I'm going to move everything out of my way. You get the back here. But I'll tell you one right now. These old 1010s, these things are always hot rodded. I mean, they're all hot rodded enough. But, you know, what the biggest problem with 1010s are is when you leave them sit. I mean, if you leave them sit for years, I'll tell you what goes bad on them all the time. The coil. This was the original coil that went on that 1010 right there. And that's what fixed that problem. The condenser, it was the problem. It was not the coil. Sometimes the coil will go out of these when they don't look burned up. I mean, they don't even, the coil on this thing doesn't even look burned up. Even the other one don't. I mean, the other one looks just been sitting in the building for a while. This one here looks like it's been sitting in the building also. But I paid for it for $50. I mean, hell, I couldn't beat it. I mean, she's not the best in shape in the world, but she's still in good shape, though. I mean, she's still got some paint left on her. I want to keep it that way. That's the reason I don't want to run this saw through the wood, because I would hate to run it. I know, Bucket Billy Ray's wants every guy to run these saws through the wood. But I did. I run this thing in the wood like 6 times already. And this thing cut pretty immaculate, but I can't say this, but I hate to say this, but it's not as fast as an M290. The MS290. It's not as fast as that one. That's out right there. That's a saw we use every day. These are saws I'm just going to run every day. and let you guys hear them start up again. You know, I cleaned the bar on this one because the bar was all covered in dirt and, you know, silk and everything. I had to clean this thing up. I'm going to clean it again because I don't want that the cover right there. Run the cover right there. I don't want to get all dirty again. But like I said, I love these old 1010 Pro Max, and, you know, I love these old school chainsaws. I've been renting these things for a while. Ever since I first got into them. It was not because of Buck and Billy Ray's. I watch other people's videos instead of Buck and Billy Ray's, but there you go, Buckin. This is a saw I got running for all of us today. You know, this saw, I was glad to hear this thing run again. It wasn't for the stain condenser. I thought it was going to be a coil, but no, it was a condenser. See, what the normal problem is when you leave these things sit over time, just like this Remington Logmaster, that thing's been sitting for a very long time. That one right down there. You guys can see the one I just talked about from right there. It's got the big wraparound bar on that one. Sitting right in front of the zip. That saw right there is a crazy saw. They were powerful, and they were bold, they were quick. I mean, these things were there to snap it, just like the Steels were. And my neighbor gave me this saw right down on the Remington pole light that he paid for when he bought off of some guy. And this thing looked like it was bought brand new back in the day. Usually you see a pole light like that right there all rusted up and just rot up. Because most of them are all rotted up. I'll give you guys a running video on that one so you get to see it. But the Remington Logmaster, if you leave them sit over time, it clicks. If you even sit them on concrete, this is a big problem with 1010s also. You leave these things sit on concrete, it's not a good idea. Because let me tell you something, you won't be able to get that thing running again. Because you just ruin the cylinder, ruin the piston in it. And these things can lock up very easy. They're McCullochs. And I like McCullochs. Here's the problem. Let's get you guys to hear the XL12. The Super XL12. This is not a regular XL12. This one here is a 1972 model. Different years between my other McCullochs. That one's an 80 model, and this one here is a 72. A little older, a little louder. No screen, no nothing, all pipe. There it goes. Screwdriver. It's down at the house. Forgot it. Like the sound of that? That's an XL12. I like home lights too. There's a Remington pole light. We're going to let you guys hear running. For 1972, I got that from off my neighbor. That was the first saw before the 1010 was running. This thing right here was running a Mac. I didn't do nothing to that saw. It's got original air filter, original everything. Same with this in here. This Remington pole light right here, you're about to see something you don't see anymore in these saws here. Check this out. This saw still has its original air filter and everything. This thing even came with a Remington bar on that. See, look at that. Original air filter right there. These are things that are always missing in these. When gas gets over this, it ruins this sticker right here. This was an old sticker that was put on these chainsaws. Tells you how to run them. Tells you what not to use. Original air filter also, original carburetor. That also has original wobble carburetor. This here actually has original everything except for the paint's a little faded away. This here actually has a metal oil line just like that one has. Except the oil cap is right here. Right there's your metal oil line. See, all oil lines back in the day, they were metal before. They were, this one here's got a heated grip warmer. It's got a heater warmer on the grip, on the handle right there. This one here should run, because I had this one running yesterday. Let's pause my day. It might be the weekend after that. 1965 Remington Polite. And you know how old that thing is? You know how old this thing is? Probably 70 years old. That thing's probably 50 years old, probably. Somebody out of fuel. I haven't looked in here in this tank yet. She's out of fuel. We're not. Oh, okay. We got fuel in here still. Good. We got some mixed gas in here. Original fuel cap was painted white. These things were always rusted and rotted up. This in here is actually in good shape, actually. And this in here's got the original grip handle. My neighbor says that he put this on there so he doesn't shock himself. Original Remington bar. Roller nose tip. She just takes a while to start. But she'll run. These are great sounding chainsaws. Especially this in here. They're all great sounding chainsaws. I love these saws, especially at Remington Polite. Smells like it had some Klotz oil in it when I had it in there. I always run Klotz. I don't want to do this with Klotz. I don't like Klotz. I've been dealing with Klotz for a long time. But I'm not using Klotz in my saws right now. I'm using, like, you know, unbranded oil, but it'll work for right now. There's some Husqvarna oil left I use. And Husqvarna 2-stroke oil. But I usually run on Klotz oil. That one's actually got some Klotz in there mixed in with the oil in there. You can smell some Klotz in that oil in that Remington Polite. I guess it likes Klotz. The rest don't run. The 58 zip, I'll have to get running for you guys. You guys can hear it running. And so is the Remington Logmaster. I got its bar up here. The Zips bar is up on that. The Remington Logmaster's bar right there. That's not a Remington Logmaster bar. The other one's the Remington Logmaster bar. That one just broken a bar off of an old Remington with a 20-inch bar. I don't know what kind of Remington that he had. I think he was running this thing with a 20-inch bar. Probably came with. Yeah, I mean, that saw worker's in good shape. I mean, yeah, except it's missing an exhaust screw, but I can put one on it. Like I say, if you guys got a McCulloch 250, I would like to get this chainsaws completed. I like to be done with chainsaws. I think I got enough of them. Let you guys hear this one running again. It cuts off. Yeah, I don't think it's out. that saw. It's got an automatic cutoff switch. That's what that was. It's an automatic safety switch. And no chainsaw ever actually had an automatic safety switch on that one. I know it's been like a 3-minute long video. You guys don't like me hearing me talking on shit like that, but that's alright. No, I'm just trying to make chainsaw content and show off my good chainsaws I got. Even the Pioneer, I love this thing. Favorite saw. Even the 1010, I love it more also. I love them all. I like them all. I can't just pick one favorite. I don't like the Steels now. I used to not like Steels. So I got into them. The 390, the 290 right there is powerful. I just cut through all that wood that's laying over there, as you guys can tell. Just me and my neighbor was cutting on that all week over there. I gotta finish it up today and get that motherfucker cut up today. And I gotta go work on the other 1010 Pro Mac after we get all this stuff done around my house here first. I gotta clean my dad's service truck. I'm gonna throw it back down to Tim's again tomorrow. Get the other 1010, bring it up here, bring the Remington Mini Mite up here. I might just leave the Remington Mini Mite up there, but I got like probably close to about 12 chainsaws right now, including that 290 I got now. I think there's a Maclet saw. I'll use that every day. I'm definitely gonna replace the airbox cover whenever. So why are you gonna replace that? Run it till it blows up. I said, nah, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna treat it just like my 1010 and the rest of my chainsaws. And that 1010 right there is in kind of good shape, but it's still runnable. It's still usable. I don't want to use them. I'm not going to get rid of these. These are the family generations. Even that XL12 that's been in my collection for a little while. I'm starting to love it too, and it's got I could put a pair of dogs in this one here also. Same with this one. These both look the same, don't they? They just look exactly the same. But this one here was a 65 model. This is right between, when the Home Mites came out back in 1965. See, I think this was his copier, and this was its competitor. So, I guess the Home Mite. Most positive Remingtons are Swedish saws, but it made a lot of them. These things are always hard to find in good shape, though. It's hard to find when it's in good shape. I'll give you this one here right now. This one here is actually a lot more better shape than the ones I've been seeing on Facebook and eBay. I've seen a lot of rough-looking ones instead of good-looking running ones like this one here is. I think this one here has actually got points in this one. This might not either. I don't know. Most of these chainsaws don't got points in them. I think this one here does. I don't know. This is a 1965 Remington, though. I cut a wood with this one time. That was it. I don't want to cut through any more wood. It's seen enough life and it's seen enough bad things happen to itself. So I think it's time to give this thing an old break. You see the bottom, the paint's coming off of it, but it's not an issue. The oiler works too, and everything works on the saw. Everything's... This thing leaking gas? A few lines went out, but finally... I guess they did. I don't think so. I don't think it's coming from... I think it's coming when I open the fuel cap. This is a good running saw. I like it. This thing runs immaculate. It's crazy. This thing's actually in good shape still. I mean, it's still in good shape. Maybe the seals are leaking. Now, let me go check the seals real quick on the saw. It's leaking from right there. I think it's leaking from right there. One of the bolts right there. Probably coming loose. And it was time to go, and I'll have to clean the bottom off of that now. You tell me, saw this. This thing was packed in here a long time ago. It's still a good running saw. I like it. I like running it. I like using it lots of times. Although I don't like... I keep the gas in them so I can run them next year. So far, this thing, it smells like Klotz oil, alright. I put it accidentally. See, the oil works a little hard. It's been through hell. I always fill it with oil. This thing runs good though. I mean, for a Remington, that is. And I would like to give this saw away to somebody that really needs a chainsaw, and not the 1010, the little Echo. She's poured it out. She'll make a great running chainsaw for you, I can tell you that. And if you don't like a lot of exhaust pipe, I'm giving you the old muzzleloader that came with it, and an old screen that came with it, so that way you can have it. But if anybody don't want this Echo, don't trade me for something that I would want. I'm not going to trade you anything until I get the 250 I always wanted. The 250's got to come first. I wouldn't mind to have one. I just can't find a 250. If anybody can just find a McCulloch 250 or a 380, I would like just to give me away a saw. Not just to do it for trades, but just doing it as like a friend, or doing it like just because you're just trying to help my videos out a little bit more. I would actually appreciate that if you guys would do that for me. And these are all good chainsaws, you know. Want to hear a Lawn Boy run? You ever seen a Lawn Boy before? Here, I don't know if anybody has seen a Lawn Boy. These are 2-stroke push motors that they have made. This is not the last model. I had the last model, was a 2004 model, but I threw it away. This one here's a 2003 model. This is the newest one to the fleet. This Lawn Boy here should start right back up. Just gotta put the key back in it. I took the key out of it so I don't lose it. You should start after I have this down now. See what happens. I don't think no one hasn't heard a Lawn Boy run the first time. I'm about to find out why I like 2-strokes. Ooh. That's the reason why I like 2-strokes better than 4-stroke push motors. This is good for maintaining tall grass. I don't think you guys ever heard of my hot rod weed whacker I designed and built it. Let's go ahead and bring her up and gas her up for you guys. So I had a hot rod weed whacker for a period of a long time. It was a Poulan weed whacker that I modified. See, I'm a real 2-stroke man because I have 2 more weed whackers down here. I have an FS36 steel. I'm the real 2-stroke guy. I'm not gonna say I'm a fake one, but I'm a real one. I got this old Sears 10XL with an 8-speed manual. It needs a diaphragm in it. There's the hot rod Poulan. Here's my GT160 AE from 1986. And here's my 1989 Poulan hot rod. I don't think you guys have heard this thing right. I shot this thing up so it could look like a hot rod. Now, this is what this thing is. It's built for hot rodding. It's a hot rodding weed whacker. I don't think no one hasn't heard this thing run for a while. I don't think no one hasn't seen it on videos. You should better see one on video how this thing ran. Gotta fill her up though, because you see how the gas. I got a few weed whackers in here. I got a lot of weed whackers in here. I got this one here, a Homelight. I'll be using for my business, my lawn and business. And I got a Husqvarna for my little brother. I have my Troy built, my FS40. Used for cutting grass every day. My FS120. Used for cut for brush. It's a good chain. It's a good weed whacker. The 1995 model FS120. And I got an FS36 that really runs good. Had this thing running not too long ago. This thing right here is my favorite weed whacker. This is the weed whacker I always wanted. I always see these things $150, $130. I got mine cheaper. I got mine for like $20, $25 for that thing. Full throttle too. I like that from Steel. And this is a 1986 also. Same year as that Echo down there. My God, it's starting to smell like 2-stroke in here from that Lawn Boy. It smells like clots. I like clots. Here's another FS40 that's in parts that we're working on. Getting it back to be running. Okay, let's give you guys the run video on this thing. I don't think no one hasn't seen a whole hot rod straight pipe on this thing that I have put on this thing. It's a hot rod straight pipe. It's all straight. You're about to see how loud this thing is. That's what makes my neighbors out there. Yeah, damn buddy. My neighbor likes this stuff I do to these weed whackers and stuff because he knows I'm the chainsaw guy around Maryland here. See, I live in Maryland and I've been the most chainsaw guy out here, and you know, don't know if I'm the only one out here in Maryland, but, you know, if someone will still just try to help me find that 250, I would gladly would thank you. Or a 380 McCulloch. This thing's got a full tank in this thing. Jesus Christ. Sorry if I said that, but holy moly, this thing's got a big tank in this. There it is, finally full. Took a little bit. This thing likes to suck up fuel too. It's a fuel sucker. Well, my cans always mix very, very well when it's cut through wood. I gotta choke it. This thing's fucking loud. See how loud this thing is. I'm not playing around. I'm not fucking around here. This thing's loud. You see how loud that thing is? It's been cold for a while. It's been sitting for a while. She is. What'd you guys think of that sound? She's hot rodded, that's why. She got the extinct sound of a hot rod. She's all piped. She's all straight piped. Now, me, I like hot rodding things. I like making things run, and this Poon's kind of junk. I don't like pulling chainsaws. I never like pulling, so I just like hot rodding them. Make them look better, make them sound better. I have a lot of dirty looks in this weed whacker, though, where people look at it, and because it's a loud muffler, and I don't like it. Unless you guys want to see trucks pass me every day, you give me dirty looks. Now, some people just yell at me and say, "Hey, that's a nice weed whacker. How the hell did you do that thing up?" I just made a straight pipe. I tell you what, no one doesn't want this nice looking Echo right now. I'll tell you one right now. I mean, except for the automatic oiler, but I noticed that was been broke for a while until I poured it in there. And you know, that one guy don't take care of his chainsaws. But yeah, I know you can put JB Weld in that. I'll fix that problem. I know it will. If anybody wants that, that's a good running saw right there. I'll tell you that. That thing fires at first pull all dang time, every day. When it gets cold, it's probably about maybe 6 pulls. You'll get the fire up and half choke. She just needs tuned and idled. I don't got time to mess with this one here. I just don't like the newer little small Echoes. But if you guys will just enjoy this video here, for the time being of watching all my stuff here and showing you guys my chainsaws, all my good chainsaws, all my good weed whackers. for one more last time before I let you guys go, I'm gonna let you guys hear the 1010 because a lot of people's into 1010s now, and a lot of people getting into them. So just keep this thing rolling. Again, you guys can just hear the 1010. But like I said, I've been running these chainsaws for a while. I've been having this 1010 for a while. Well, not for a while. I just got it just this year. Cut off. I think she might be out of gas. I'll pour some more gas in there. Let's keep her running, keep her alive. Yeah, she's got some dirt in there. These old tins make the popping, cracking noises. This is the first ever saw done that. Get it running again. I think I flooded her. I think I might be it for the video, I guess, today. She runs. She runs good for an old 1010. Well, better get to organize and get to cleaning. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for enjoying watching my videos here. I hope you guys like this video. This video don't get posted. It'll have to be posted later tonight. You guys are wondering why the videos get posted later tonight. Because YouTube takes a while to get these things posted. If anybody hasn't came on my TikTok channel, it is... Oh, fuck, I forgot. Judge Rebel Boy 1970. And my Instagram is the same way. Judge Rebel Boy 1970. If you guys would please follow me, and hope you guys are seeing this YouTube channel. And get a lot of people liking this videos here, because a lot of people like getting into 1010 now, and 1010 Pro Max now, and hope you guys enjoy my content. If you want to know why my face looks destroyed already, it's because of my camera. So, hope you guys enjoy. That's it for the chainsaw review video. You know, I'll let you guys hear them all run. Let you guys hear them for the first time. I'm always up around early, late in the morning. I think by today, I think we get all this wood cut up. But the more I keep wasting my time, the more I'm not going to get to it. But I would gladly you guys would just like the video, and please help me out find this McCulloch 380 or McCulloch Super 250 so we can... I think the reason why the 1010 cut itself off because it was going to be time for me to leave off the video. Well, that's it. Now just gotta get the other 1010 running and get the Remington Mini Mite running again. A little sucker. I think I'm just leaking oil, that Remington Polite. Hope it's not gas, that's what it's doing. I'm hoping that's not gas. Okay, that's oil. That's oil, so that's good. It's just leaking oil because it's old. It's been set for a while, and that's the reason why these things leak oil that bad. Alright guys, I'll just catch you guys later, and my face looks all stored in the videos. You're gonna have to, I don't know. But I really should put all this stuff up so I can get up out there and cut the wood before it gets late. Because, I'm about to get out and go. So, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in for my chainsaw collection review of showing you how these things run, show you how these things fire up, and hope you guys enjoy this content. I hope Buck and Billy Rays is watching. And I hope the Tin Man's watching, because you know Buck and Billy Rays, you know fucking Tin Man. They always love these old 1010 Pro Max. But I wouldn't say I actually had a rough life, but I'm gonna tell you one more thing before I go. you know, when I first got into chainsaws was in the building. It was not because of Bucket Billy Ray's. No fucking way. It was not because of Tin Man, or I'm not trying to hurt Bucket Billy Ray's feelings or Tin Man's feelings, but it was not all because of that. You know, I got into chainsaws when I went to my grandpa's that day when he was getting ready to pass away. I asked my uncle, so what's in this building in there? He says he don't know. So I went in there, looked in there. I saw this pulling. I didn't know what at the time what kind of chainsaw it was. So I saw this, you know, weird looking chainsaw. You guys have seen it on my YouTube channel before, I think. I mean, that's when I was 15. I guess that's when I was going to try to get into videos and just see how I like them. I didn't like them at first, so I just didn't make any videos at all after that. You guys can see it. It's very, very old, and I tell you what, after I found it, when I brought it up to my other place after we moved from out of here, after I was getting ready to move again, back off my old place, this makes my third home that I moved. I was born and raised in West Virginia, and at my old home, I lived in an old trailer and double wide. We didn't do any things like that, like money was tight back in the day. But here's how the story went. So when I went and go ahead and picked up that chainsaw out of my barn, out of that little house, whatever the hell it is, and I saw it laying there, and I was wondering what the fuck it was. So I brought it home to see if I can get it running. I finally got the engine to turn over free after my dad was working on his truck that day. That 2018 Dodge my dad actually had. He was working on that truck that day, and I was out working on that chainsaw again to see if I can fix it and get it running. I didn't know it was a chainsaw. I thought it was just like a weed whacker or something. Like I seen the bar on this one. I figured out, oh, wait a minute. I was starting to look up Pioneers to figure out what the fuck it was. I was looking up McCullochs and Pioneers, and I stumbled across the 1010 Pro Mac, and that's how I got into Pro Max. And then the first time I actually got into Pioneers, and I was like, man, I want to get me a Pioneer. So I told myself when I moved up here, if I throw this saw away, I'm getting a Pioneer. I'm going to try to find me a Pioneer, and I did. That P28 back there. I was trying to go after a late P65, but I couldn't find one, so at not a state sale, but at my tractor shows, that's where I go to find some chainsaws there. That's where I go find them and go bring them home. That's where I brought that Pioneer from. She's finally home, and she's in my place. Same with the Promec 1010. I got into Promec 1010s because I started searching all kinds of sort of chainsaws back in the day. And so once I was 15, I started getting into chainsaws, and that's just, my passion grew even more and more and more until I got that sucker to run. I even actually had an old rare Husqvarna 232R. You can't get in the U.S. You can't buy in the U.S. It has to be imported in the U.S. to get that. It was made for brush cutting, and I just had the power head of it. I didn't get the whole brush cutting, the bar and everything with it. Never came with it. So I started it up, and it ran just as fine. That Poulan, and I figured out what kind of chainsaw it was. It was a Poulan P65 Pro, and I wish I never threw it away. Because guess what? That was a rare chainsaw I had. A P66, it was a 655 Pro. Same thing as a Pioneer P65. Same feature, same look, same everything. And I had about a year. Had about 2 years, and I threw it away after I was getting ready to move. When I finally moved, I got a Husqvarna. That's when I kept it, and I got rid of the Husqvarna 260 that I had. It was a newer chainsaw I had. When I brought the Pioneer up here, that's when I actually threw away that chainsaw. I just had no use for it anymore. I couldn't get the parts because parts are expensive for the Poulan 655 Pros. And I regret it ever since about me throwing it away, because I could have got $14,000 out of it. And I told myself, I wish I never throw it away. There's a couple of times I should wish I never threw it away. I should just fixed it. I should just completely restored it. Let that chainsaw be my first restored chainsaw, but it was missing too many parts. The crank starter was missing. Everything was completely missing in that chainsaw. You know. And I started beginning to look for a Pioneer, and that's how I got this P28 here. And I got close to a P65. Sorry about that. I just spit to get rid of this shit I got. Well, I think that's it for the video. I just wanted to give you guys a little short story how I got into chainsaws. And that's how I got into it. It was not because I got Buck and Billy Ray's. I watched Buck and Billy Ray's when I first got that Pioneer. When I first found that saw. That's when I began to start watching Buck and Billy Ray's. That's why I seen that guy was handling 1010 Pro Max and everything else. I didn't want to be like him. I want to be like myself, you know, like everybody else does. I mean, yeah, he's a cool man. I like Buck and Billy Ray's. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to hate on you, Buck and Billy Ray's. I'm not trying to hate you for years. I like your videos. I like your content. But I got into 1010 Pro Max because it was from you. I was looking for the McCulloch 250s at first, but you got me in the 1010 Pro Max, and that's how I got away. I put the 1010 Pro Max wrong. Hang on for a minute. That's how I stumbled across a 1010 Pro Max was because of Buck and Billy Ray's. As soon as I found out 1010 Pro Max were good chainsaws back in the day. So Rim T Pole Light's going to go in first. But thank you guys for watching. Leave a like always. I want you guys to be safe out there when you're using chainsaws. Wait till you get around about 19. I think you should get yourself a first chainsaw. I wouldn't get your chainsaw. I want to get a chainsaw when you're young. I would end up hurting you. These things are dangerous, you know. You gotta watch what you're doing on these older ones. I'm telling you, there's no safety bar like the Steel has. The Steel MS290. And that thing cut your leg, it's gonna be cutting your leg. That bar will never stop. Even right through chaps. It'll cut right through chaps. Believe me. I've seen the 1010 Pro Max done it before. This old 58 zip we will get running this year. Don't worry, we'll get this 1958 zipper running again so we can get it running, and gotta find a whole point assembly. And this one takes a big points assembly. I don't know what the heck I've done with it, but I might have it right here. Well, I don't. It's just the flywheel goes to it. The cover stuff. Let me go ahead and put the 1010 Pro Max back here. Maybe these pads right here, because these pads protect it from getting wet. Getting ruined. Yeah, I got into the 1010 Pro Max because it was Buck and Billy Ray's, and I brought home two, I guess. I guess my neighbor gave me one. I didn't know my neighbor was going to give me one also. So, I didn't know at the time, so I never knew that. I never got into chainsaws until now. These are all great chainsaws. Pioneer's going to get right here on top of the XL12. I got to get it through there somehow. That's the second one to roll off the production line. Now, the Remington Logmaster can move up. They ain't worried about it. Now I can move up now. I may got some chainsaws missing in my collection, but it'll come back to me eventually. I'll bring them back up here after getting fixed. I gotta get a recoil spring for that 58 zip. So we can at least just hear the power head run. She's gonna be loud, I tell you that. She's the loudest chainsaw I got. And she's a lot more bigger. I had that thing about 2 years also. The old man that gave me this saw sold it to me for $100 and gave me a smoking deal on it. Because he knew how I felt, and he knew I needed a 58 zip in my collection. So that was when I was looking for chainsaws in the 50s, and I finally found one, and this came up on the state sale, and I had to have it. And I told the guy, I said, please just give me this saw, man. I had to have it. And I brought her home, and here she is. And she just needs a new carburetor. The guy told me, he said, oh yeah, the carburetor doesn't need cleans. I don't believe people when they say that. The carburetor's just going to need cleaned, yeah. I dealt with too many chainsaws in the past and had a lot of problems in running the plies. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to try to piss people off. I'm just saying, you know, I had a lot of bad experience with people and their sayings, and I don't like when they say that because it just doesn't ruin you. Just chainsaws ain't gonna be in the way. I know they ain't. Mom just thinks everything's gonna be in her way. Well, everything's not gonna be in her way because I'm moving all this stuff up a little bit. I'll be getting some more chainsaws eventually. I don't worry. I'll be constantly bringing home chainsaws. I can't help it. It's a habit that you can't get rid of. These chainsaws are sitting on this ground for a while. This is all I got down here. I don't got nothing to sit them at. if anybody want to hit me up on the Echo or I got to count how many chainsaws I got now. I always keep a track. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold on, I messed up. Sorry about that. 1, Counting Steel, MS-290 is 1, Zip is 2, Remington Logmaster is 3, the 1010 Mac is 4, 4 chainsaws, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 back there, 10 down at my neighbor's, 11 down at my neighbor's place. So there's 11 chainsaws. Man, I'm cranking up again. I'm about to bring back my dang chainsaws again. I think I actually have 12. Yeah, I actually have 11. So if anybody will just fill up the space for me and get this McCulloch 250 to sit right here, then we can move the steel up here a little bit more, keep all the older chainsaws in line, leave the new stuff up here. I might just post this little Echo up on eBay. Maybe we'll just sell it, maybe, because I'm going to get some pictures of it running, firing. Well, trust me, you will get this right here with it. So this is its exhaust cam. I mean, it's powers exhaust pipe. I mean, a lot of the Mac oil is broke, but you know what? You can put some JB Weld on it and it'll fix it. I'll sell for $150, but that's all I'm going to do on that one. I don't need it. I have no use for it. I like my bigger saws better. I have decided I'm gonna do the Husker. I might sell it too, put it down the road for 100, I think $200 for it. It was bought brand new in '99. My MS-290, MS-290 is gonna be running. So let me go ahead and clean this building up so my mom can get through here. So she can get all the Christmas stuff out of here. I'm gonna leave this torpedo heater. I might just throw it down in there. This old fender off of my old Cub Cadet 126. Really crusty, but I'm going to restore it some other time. I got to take this thing apart. Replace the screws and bolts on. The screws about a hat on that fender. Here's I kept the fender in here because I kept it out of the weather. So I'm about to go get a. I really need parts of my chainsaw, really. So I get the zip fired up so I could just forget about it and call that one a day. There's some JB Weld in that one. Put some epoxy on that. Fix it. Get this ladder out of here. I'm gonna chug this dang thing out. We don't fucking eat up here. Fuck we got in here for? I'm gonna just change some things around so my mom can get through here. Yeah. Oh, there she got enough room to open the door wide open because I'm going to have the McCulloch 250 or 380. If someone will just help me find a McCulloch 250, I'll be happy. I'll be happy for you guys if you just find me one. Hey, Bucket Billy Ray's got a Super 250. Goddamn. Oh, sorry if I said goddamn. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry for cuss. I hate when I cuss sometimes, but, I always apologize when I do cuss. And just the viewers that chainsaw guys, they don't like the words cussing. They don't like cussers. They don't like sailors or nothing. So, all my part saws are going to go back here. One's going to be fixed up and restored. It's going to go over here now. Always wear chainsaw chaps. This is my safety requirement here. And my chaps. It's got my steel adjusted screwdriver here. Try to get all this shit out. Let's see what mom can get through here. Alrighty. I'm gonna scoot this out of here. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for everything. And it's been like an hour now since I made a video, so I better get the fuck off of here.